Tan forces gather on the central position of the border and they deploy 4 Cheehy medium tanks and 3 Tan mortar positions, therefore creating a forward operating base. Meanwhile, 3 Tan companies are ready for battle in the central rally area. 1 company of Tans has set up defences across the river and they are to hold the Tangerian advance as a delay tactic. 50 guerrillas on each flank will be commanded by Lieutenant Lew-Tan and Lieutenant Tanner. They will surprise the Tangerians with a banzai charge once the battle is minutes into play. General Lew-Tan is the commanding officer, but he is off field and he puts Major Kerberos in control of the 2 Tan battalions. Approaching from the Tangerians' rear will be General Reckless and his 200 of his reckless raiders. So the Tan forces are going to consist of 3 mortars, 4 tanks, 600 men, sandbag defences and minefields on each crossing of the river. 200 reserves are also on the way to reinforce the Tans if need be. So the Tangerian Wars are about to commence as General Tang is about to approach the border and take out all of the Tans in the south of Viet Thanh. So Viet Thanh has split off into 2 parts now, and you can tell by this picture right here, look, and you can see that the south is now Tan and the north is still Tangerian. So the Tangerians are now going to be pushing on the south for the first time, marking this the first battle of the Tangerian Wars. So General Tang is going to be focusing his main forces on the left hand side of the border itself, and he's going to push as many men through that left flank as he can, along with 2 commuter tanks and 5 BTRs. He is also going to push a huge force on his right flank, but not as many as the left, and a average size force on the central flanks. Like I say, the Tangerians don't have any idea what's going on, so the Tans are going to surprise them with their really cool defences, which you saw at the start of this video. So anyway, so this right here is Tan Chi Minh. This is the objective of the Tans if they do win this battle. And if the Tangerians do win this battle, their objective is to be marching through, burning and looting all of the Tan villages, and marching on Saigon, which is the now new capital of Tan Viet Thanh. So we can see a lot of guerrilla forces still stationed around the place. We've got General Lew-Tan way back here, look, overlooking his soldiers. We have Major Kerberos, who's going to be leading these 2 battalions against these Tangerians. So this is an absolutely epic battle. I can't wait to see how it plays out. If General Tang does lose this battle, he is going to have to step down, and Sultan Rumek is going to have to elect somebody else to take control of this region. So if I shake my cursor right here, we'll zoom right into the battlefield and we're going to have a little look at all of the Tan defences. So here we go. So here we are on the battlefield and we can see the Tan soldiers waiting patiently for this Tangerian advance. Could you imagine their little plastic heartbeats? Oh no. So anyway, these are the lines. We have 1 company right here, and this is 100 men, and they're going to be focusing on the left flank. So like I said, the Tans did come across the river. They've set up mines. You can see these little green flags right here on each of the crossings, and they have set up 1 company of men here. They've set up another company of men here on the Tangerian side of the river, and another company of men over here. So they're just patiently waiting for the Tangerians at the moment. And if we look further back here, we do have Tans that are dug in foxholes, and the foxholes are going to be acting as cover for 1 company on the right hand side and another company on the left hand side. So that's 100 men in each company, and we can see them all around the place over here. Look, we've got some there, look, and they are holding the grey K-47, and that's because the Greys have sold the Tan soldiers some weaponry. So we can see that they range from a Panzerfaust to the grey K-47 and a bunch of rifles. So if we look over here, we have got the main forward operating base, and we can see the Major himself right there. Look, there's the Major just overlooking the battlefield, and I think that's Major Kerberos we decided to call him. And this battle is 100% written by you guys in the Discord. So big shout out to everybody in the Discord. We can hear some action going on over here. And you saw from the start of the video all of the tactics that both nations chose in the Discord. And all that I have done is put them into a simulation. So we can see that the Tangerians are advancing prominently down the left-hand side of the battlefield. approaching with Cometa tanks and a bunch of BTR, BTR crafts, I believe. We did use these on the aquatic side of things, but we are using them through the jungle this time for some reason. So they are approaching with a lot of soldiers. I think there's around 200 men which are going to be attacking from the left flank. And look at this. This is just beautiful. This is crazy. So they're coming through the forest, and we can see them quite well because they are orange. They stand out very well. And you can see the defences that the Tans built are not lasting all that long this time around. Look at this. They've got Panzerfaust, so they need to shoot one into that tank. That tank is wrecking this flank. Absolutely wrecking this flank. The tank is wrecking the flank. Look at that. The pathfinding for the vehicles is going to be a little bit difficult for the tanks and the other vehicles to get through. Oh, this is not going to be good. He's making his way down the flank, but he may hit the minefield. This will be interesting. And I do know that there is some artillery fire going off around here as well. You can see the artillery. And that is Tangerian artillery. It is a virtual artillery, which means it is not in the battlefield. It's not like field artillery. Oh, is he going to hit a mine? Oh, he's just hit a mine. God, we've got to remember the Tans did mine all of these paths to get across the river. This is cool. And there's also some field artillery opening fire on them. And the main Tangerian advance is just crushing the left flank at the moment. That is a lot of troops, a hell of a lot of troops. And if we look down this side as well, I think they will be approaching down the right flank. And like I say, guys, every bit of this is written by the leaders of the Discord. And you can see that the Tangerians also have the OK-47, which is also made by the Greys, but they have turned it into an orange colour. Look at this. So these guys right here are up against this flank right here, look. We can see that, oh my god, this tank didn't last long. Why is it upside down? We missed out on that one. So they're attacking this flank, and you can see that they're dug in pretty well. And one thing that General Lew-Tan, the leader of this this division, shall we say, the one thing that he said he wanted to do was put them in lines of 3. So we can see a 3-way trench right here. They've got 3 different lines. And the Panzerfausts are on the back, and they're going to be stopping any armour that's coming through the trees. But it's going to be very difficult for the armour to come through the trees in the first place. So let's have a look at the battle. I'm going to try my best not to touch any of the AI. And whatever happens in this episode, guys, like I say in all episodes, affects what happens in the next. This is crazy, look at this. Moving up. So if we zoom out, look, we can see that the right flank is doing okay. They're doing pretty good. And we'll go way back over here to the left flank. And we'll see how well these guys are doing. And these guys just charge and charge and charge. And they've made it through. They've actually broke through the Tan's left flank. Oh, but they're getting hit by field artillery now. And the field artillery is in place on the flanks over there, somewhere in the distance. These tanks are going to get pinned down right here because there's a lot of AT and AP mines around this area. It's going to be interesting to see what the Tangerians do when they do get across this ravine right here. So if we look to the centre of the battlefield now, we can see that down the centre, the Tangerians are also going to be advancing more troops. And in this battle, it is approximately 800 men versus 800 men. And here is the centre battalion right here. And these guys are getting pinned down from that central position from the Tans. So the Tangerian government did say, under the command of General Tang, that they wanted the main force to attack down the left flank. And you can see they did just that, look. And that's a lot of troops, a hell of a lot of troops, and they're still coming. But what the Tans did was they dug themselves in foxholes, and they're using the trees as cover to try and stop any counterattack from the Tangerians. So they're going to try and stop them in the woods, which will be pretty cool. Let's have a look at the centre. The centre's not been taken over yet. We can see that there's a lot of Tans still in their positions. And this battle is just going to be epic. And I am going to be doing a lot more of these kind of battles. So be sure to come and join the Discord, as the link will be in the description below. If you want to join the official Army Men of War Discord and do a bit of roleplay and take part in the series yourself, then be sure to become a member. So the Tans appear to be holding all the Tangerians back. Only just though, I think. So they've lost the first line of trenches on this side, using these grey K-47s right here. They look so beautiful. This is an absolutely epic fight. You can see the Tangerians in the distance, and they're exchanging fire. We've got the lovely Rob's realism effects, so it's very long range. unlike the vanilla game. Oh, he took a shot to the head, that dude did. This is so cool. So Major Kerberos, he is the leading commander of this battle. As General Lew-Tan, he stands behind the lines and he's just giving orders because he doesn't want to die, you see. He doesn't want to be too close to the front line. And we could see from the battle map at the start of the video that we do have the Reckless Raiders, which are going to be approaching from the rear. And that is all the troops that failed to be killed in the Rally of Tannoy. So they're under the command of General Platos, and they're going to be trying to rally some troops and approach from the rear. But when they approach, I do not know. So we'll look across the Tangerian lines again. They're approaching down the centre still, but they seem to be halted by the machine guns and the soldiers in the central trench position. And if we look down the flank now, the left flank, they've not made it across yet. Oh, they have made it across. We have a commuter now approaching the foxhole positions, which are very well hidden, I must say, of the Tans. And it is now up to the field artillery, which are positioned over here, to take out this tank and hold back any infantry. Maybe Major Kerberos will launch a counterattack very soon to try and stop this Tangerian attack. Put a halt to it and maybe put them into retreat, who knows. It's all up to the AI of the game. So let's have a look in the centre. The centre seems pretty quiet at the minute. All quiet on the central front. Nobody's phased over here. And there is Tangerians left, but like I say, they've been halted. We'll go back down to the right flank. I'm going to keep switching flanks, and they're approaching with a lot of BTRs. And they're using the Dishkas on the BTRs as a sort of portable bunker that they can move around. They're very lightly armoured, so they're not very effective when in close range combat. But from this far range, they could do pretty well, because you can see down here that they've nearly taken out this full Tan trench. They have got just the back line to take now. This is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Look at them getting closer. God, there's like a line of Panzerfaust there, look. God help that BTR if it gets any closer. This is such a cool battle. Oh no, look at this. They've actually taken out this left flank. And one thing that the Tans also did was they wanted to funnel all of the armour of the Tangerians through the mines. So you can see a lot of tank barriers that have been placed. Oh, this can't be good. This is not good at all. Not good at all. So let's have a look over here. We do have Lieutenant Tanner, and we also have another lieutenant, Lieutenant Daytan. He is going to be approaching from the flanks, and they'll be leading a banzai charge. Let's see if we can locate some of his men. Maybe they won't approach for a little bit longer yet, but they will be approaching soon. They are on the way. There is also 200 reserves on the way as well. Look at this. But now they've got through the first line of defence, they've got the second line of defence to get through, which is a bunch of 10 foxholes, look, and there was approximately 100 men on each side. So one company per side. And the only way to get across is through the mines, so this has been set up very strategically. We'll look down here. So they've completely overrun the right flank now. They're now using the Tan trenches as their own cover. Also bringing up some Dishkas, using that as a cover as well. The artillery on each flank proved very ineffective. They should have focused the artillery on the central position, taking out their forward operating base. If we look over here, we can see that the left flank, where they put most of their forces, has came to a halt, I believe. Yeah, they've actually stopped the full left advance. And let's have a look up here. Yeah, the field artillery is still proving to be very effective and stopping any infantry and any vehicles from getting across this this passageway right here through the river. So that's very effective. So now I think they're focusing their main force now on the right flank. This is the biggest threat. Oh, and they've even brought in some... Oh no, some Tan loyalists are approaching. So these guys are Tans that wanted to stay Tangerian. So you can see that they're wearing Tangerian hats, and they've been issued with the standard issue Type 99 Tangerian rifle. So this could be bad, and that's a full company of men. We're talking 100 to 150 men right there. And they're now focusing their main forces on the central position. So this is going to be cool. Look at this. This is absolutely beautiful. We're definitely doing some more of these in the Discord. Like I say, join. It is in the description. The Tans are really struggling to hold this central position now. The Tans are going to have to come up with some sort of counter-attack to stop this Tangerian advance. So they might have to bring in their reserves soon. Who knows? It's completely up to the AI. I'm going to try my best to control no AI in this whole battle. We're going to watch the AI play out every bit of it. Look at that. There's a lot of Tangerians advancing. A hell of a lot. I wonder if the Tans were expecting such a force, such a fighting force to come across the border. And I'll tell you guys something, right? I have playtested this a few times now, and the outcome is different every single time. So now we're going to look to the flanks now, and we're going to see if Lew-Tan and Tanner is bringing in the guerrilla forces that we need. We desperately need some guerrillas to counter-attack this offensive by the Tangerians. I'm not seeing any guerrillas. Oh, yes I am. There we go. Here comes Lieutenant Lew-Tan, or this might be Lieutenant Tanner, depending on which side they are. I don't know which side's which. But there we go. We've got a Banzai charge. Banzai! It's so cool. And they're moving through the trees now, and they're going to be launching a full offensive on the Tangerian forces. So now it's this side of the river versus that side of the river. Because do remember that the front of this offensive right here, these trenches were only put here as a delay tactic. But this could work in the Tangerians' favour if they use them against the Tans themselves. And you can see that they are, look, they're using them as cover. And they might be able to stop this guerrilla offensive right here, this Banzai charge. Now if we look down this flank as well, I do believe there should be another Banzai attack. But this time, yep, they're focusing on the centre. So they've swung from the right, and now they're coming through the centre. There must be some sort of strategy to this. Not sure what though. But any strategies that were given to me by the generals in the Discord. So this is pretty much the most interesting battle that I've pretty much ever done on my channel. So you have to let me know in the comments, do you guys want to see more like this? And look at that huge advance. Charging away, look. And I think they're going to try and reinforce and retake this position right here. But we might see, oh, this is going to be so cool, it's going to be Clash of the Titans as they both try to retake this position. It's just a matter of time. And what's going on over here? Oh, we've got General Reckless as approached from the rear with his Tan guerrilla forces as well, look. And he's also approached with a couple of Puma tanks. Look. And they're now taking them from the rear. This is just what they needed. Just in time, look. And they're opening fire up on the Tan Loyalists. Yeah, the Tan Loyalists are a very weak force. And now we have either Lieutenant Lew-Tan or Lieutenant Tanner, one of the two. They're now taking this position right here. So these guys are going to be fighting from two sides now. They're going to have to split their forces in two. One to take the rear and one to take the front. This is going to be a really interesting battle. They're approaching the hill very slowly. Oh, this is so cool. So cool to commentate, and it's also really good to watch. It's an absolute pleasure doing this for you guys, honestly. What's this guy doing? Got a guerrilla there, a lone guerrilla. There's Car 98, standard issue. Oh, I've lost him. He's still alive though, he's still alive. He's moving up with some of his comrades. Oh, they're all moving up now. This is a full advance from both sides. Took a grenade to the face. Oh, he took a headshot. But never mind, we've got plenty of men trying to reinforce this position. So this right here is going to be, this is a battle of this little ridge right here. The Battle of Little Ridge. That's what we could call this little part right here. Oh, they're exchanging grenades. This is not good. They're blowing sandbags absolutely everywhere. The Tans seem to have the upper hand though on this position, pushing the Tangerians back. Not too sure how Reckless is doing over here with his Reckless Raiders. He has got a active Puma though. The Puma is proving to be very effective. No idea who's going to win this battle. There are soldiers absolutely everywhere on this map. Let's have a look down here. The Tangerians are taking a massive beating now, fighting for the lower ground, but the Tans have the higher ground, so this could be very good for the Tans. This isn't going to be like, stop shooting my comrades. Oh, there's a full advance now from Tan infantry. There we go, there's a full advance. I wonder if they're approaching from the HQ itself as well. Where's the HQ? We've got another Puma back there. Let's go to the HQ. And here we go, yep, we've got the tanks now moving up. They're stuck in some trees though, very bad terrain for tanks and other vehicles. But they're also pushing on a supercharge. This is a huge counterattack by the Tan soldiers. This could be very bad for General Tang. I think he has wasted all of his forces. And dudes, I know this doesn't seem fair at the moment. It looks like there's a lot more Tans, but I assure you it was an absolute equal force on both sides. But unfortunately, the Tans were more dug in, so this is pretty cool. Look, you can see all of the dead Tangerians. They're absolutely everywhere. And I think this could be a win for the Tans. An absolute win for the Tans. And it goes to show the strategies of this battle. We've got a Chihi tank back here, look. And this guy must have advanced all the way from the forward operating base. So he came a long way. Look at this, so they're all pushing forward now. That was a lot of soldiers, and this was an absolute epic battle. If we look at this flank, I think we do have some Tangerians left on this side. And the guerrillas are now just finishing them off. Moving up on them. We can hear the gunfire in the background. Yet we've got two Tangerian brothers over here, look. They're just marvelling at the fact that they've lost all of their troops. You know, they're in awe. They're like, I can't believe it. I just can't believe that the Tans were so organised on this border defence line. But this was an absolute epic battle. I can't believe how it turned out. It was 100% fair, an equal amount of troops. It was 2 battalions versus 2 battalions. If anything, I would say the Tangerians even had more vehicles than the Tans. And you guys saw all of the tactics, and the tactics relate to my scripts in the battle itself. So we're going to be doing a lot more of these. We've got more Tans moving up on this side. They're just making sure everything's good. And some of these vehicles the Tans will be able to take for themselves and maybe present it to General Platos himself, their illustrious leader. So when he comes back out of action, he did get shot in the arm and in the leg, and he is incapacitated for the time being. But hopefully he'll be back on his feet soon, and he can take command of his armies yet again, and maybe even march on Tan Chin Min. That'd be pretty cool. Let's have a look over here. Yep, it definitely looks like a Tan victory, and this was an absolute epic battle. An epic battle indeed. Look at this. There's just dead soldiers everywhere, dead plastic soldiers. And I think we're going to call it on that. So if we look at the casualties, look, we'll look at all the casualties. We've got all this, look, we've got all this damage here. So if we were to sum up this battle, the delay tactics really did work with the trench lines at the front. It was a brilliant strategy by the Tans. They didn't even touch the Tans on this side. And I'm going to say there's at least 200 Tans left. So that was a pretty cool battle, but they did lose a lot of soldiers themselves as well. And we also have the FOB still intact. And like I say, the Tans could and may have used their artillery to take out the FOB, but they did choose to shoot it on the flanks. And if you look around, look, you can see some craters around the place. In fact, no, we can't. Where are the craters gone? I've lost them. But they are around. They would have hit the flanks with the artillery. But unfortunately, it didn't prove to be very effective. So this is an absolute slaughter for the Tangerians. General Tang is definitely going to look to resigning from his post and electing a new general to take his place, because his tactics clearly didn't work in this situation. So anyway, a big thank you to everyone watching this video. Do subscribe, join the Mighty Nation. Also, please leave a like on the video and do comment. Join the Discord, and yeah, there's plenty more as well. So, so do all those things, and I will see you guys in the next video.